guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video will be a Q&A and quick little update, and as you can tell, it will be soft spoken, so I hope you enjoy. It is roughly 500 degrees in my room right now, and all of the fans and AC are off, so if you see me profusely sweating, that's why. So I just wanted to give a quick little update because it's been quite some time since I've uploaded, and I just wanted to explain what's been going on. Really, it's sort of two reasons that I have not been able to keep up with my schedule lately. The first is that just frankly, I have not been feeling well at all. I have a lot of chronic sinus issues, and they've been particularly bad these past 6 months. So because of that, I've been dealing with a lot of sinus infections, and it's resulted in just a big mess in my head. So, not that this is like probably too much information, but I've just been having a lot of issues with eustachian tube dysfunction and tinnitus and postnasal drip and just like constant headaches and migraines. And anyway, so I went to an ENT a few weeks ago, and they gave me some steroids and some medication, and it worked for a little bit, but once the medication stopped, it kind of just came back. So I'll probably have to go back again, and I've been just trying to do a lot of sort of home herbal remedies and things like that. So that's what a lot of my time has been focused on, is just trying to feel better. It's not that I haven't wanted to film, but every time I would try or think about making a video, I would have a migraine or just feel really out of it and just not myself. So that's why it's been sort of a delay there, and also just because I've been trying to take some time to read and relax and de-stress and do nightly yoga and things like that, so just trying to get myself in check. So I will still be recording, obviously. It's just I've not been able to stick to my Monday-Thursday schedule. It's going to be a little bit sporadic for now, so hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. It's just I've really got to deal with all of this stuff that's going on in my head, because I just feel off, but hopefully that will get better soon. It's really just the ringing that is killing me because when these like tubes in your middle ear are blocked, it can cause tinnitus, and it's just this constant ringing and it won't go away. So I'm trying very hard to fix that. But anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying summer, even though it's incredibly hot, at least where I am. But hopefully you are getting some good outdoor time and finding some hobbies and things to keep you busy. So anyway, with that little update, I'm going to finally answer all of the questions for this Q&A. So thank you everyone who sent in their questions. It's so many more than I was expecting, so many questions. So I will answer all of them, and hopefully this video won't go too long. I don't want to bore you guys. But I'll try to be as brief as I can, but as you know, I like to just ramble. So we'll see. But let's just jump in because I'm already talking too much. Okay, so the first question is, how long have you been vegan? I have been vegan for about 3 years now, roughly. And basically I just decided one day that I would become vegan. It was an overnight decision. I had sort of been thinking about it and cutting things out of my diet, and I was watching this documentary and finally was just like, okay, I'm gonna go vegan. And I know that's not a choice for everybody. Doesn't interest everybody, but for me personally, I really felt like being an environmentalist, I was not aligning with my own values, knowing that meat consumption really contributes significantly to carbon emissions. I didn't feel authentic, and that was my own personal decision and my own feelings. Also, my love for animals, so many things weren't connecting, and I just finally decided the time was right. So, not that that was a part of the question, I just felt like I wanted to explain myself. I like to explain the why I do things, so anyway, here we are. I'm already talking a lot. Okay, what is one thing that you really miss from your hometown? Luckily I do visit my hometown probably every few months. What I miss most when I'm away is my family. All of my family, they're pretty much situated in the same area. My close family, anyway. So that's definitely what I miss. I also miss the sort of quiet and quaint environment, being around lots of trees and grass and parks. Especially when I'm stressed out, I don't want to be around people, and you really can't avoid it. Anytime you go outside in the city, you're just surrounded by people, and that doesn't calm me down. So it's nice to be in a place like my hometown where there's very little people and I can find my alone time and still be out of the house. But I also really miss sort of the old friends and old memories, like the nostalgia that I have for my hometown, which you obviously just can't recreate. Okay, what are your favorite types of books to read? I've been reading a lot lately, and typically what I like to read are the more educational books, definitely nonfiction, books where I can learn and educate myself and highlight constantly. Every book I have that I read has highlights and notes in it, just because I feel like I'm being productive when I read, and I lose focus very easily when I'm reading a book that is not that way. So I just finished 3 books this week. The first one was Stamped from the Beginning, The Definitive History of Racist Ideas. I also finished The Body Keeps the Score and Whole Again. Those last 2 were more of self-help, psychology type books. That's probably what I read the most. I've always been really interested in psychology and how people work and how the mind works. And then, so Stamped from the Beginning was really, really good. And right now I'm currently reading How to Be an Anti-Racist by the same author as Stamped from the Beginning, and I have a few books coming in about the history of tarot readings, and a book that talks about how to use different herbs and plants and flowers and things like that for sort of herbal remedy, medicinal purposes, the health benefits of different native plants and things like that. So excited for those to come. They should come today, but deliveries and things have been backed up. So okay, has the lockdown period made you think differently about life? Yes, very much, in so many ways. But I feel like primarily it's really shifted my focus and my understanding of my work-life balance. Before COVID happened, I would go to work for 9 and generally work until technically 6, but I would usually stay until 7, and if we had projects going on, closer to 8. So then I would get home at like 9, cook dinner, eat at like 10:30, and it's just like my day was gone. And really just running myself down. And I feel like now having the ability to work from home, I can take breaks when I need to and give myself rest and cook dinner at reasonable hours and do yoga and read and enrich my life in other ways and not just be focused on work all the time. And I feel like that's been really critical for me. This is probably the first time in my life that I've learned to relax and not feel guilty about it, and to enjoy my time, even if it's not productive, even if it's watching a movie or reading a book or doing yoga. I mean, those things are beneficial to me, but for a long time, I was always of the mindset that it was all about work, and that has definitely changed for me. So I hope that continues once things go back to normal, if they ever do. But yeah, and my mentality has shifted in a lot of ways, but I think that's probably the biggest. Also, sorry if I sound congested. If I do, it's because I'm congested. Okay. Next question is, when is your birthday? I was born on Thanksgiving. My birthday is November 25th, and I'm 25 years old. I know Thanksgiving changes every year, but the year that I was born fell on Thanksgiving. So I'm a Sagittarius also. What is my favorite color? My favorite color is dark blue. Most of the colors in my room have blue in them, if they're not solely and predominantly blue. I also like dark purples, and I wear a lot of black. Do you have a favorite dog breed? I've always had labs growing up, black and yellow labs, but I've always wanted a Rottweiler. I love them. I think they're beautiful. I mean, I like bigger dogs in general, so any kind of big dog I'm happy with. But I think one day I would like to have a Rottweiler. Okay, very controversial question coming up. Do you think pineapple on pizza is good or bad? To be honest, completely honest, I've never tried it, so I don't feel like I can give an authentic, genuine response. I don't know. I've never had it. Plus, I don't really eat pizza, but I do make it from scratch at home sometimes, where I'll have like a whole wheat crust, very thin usually, but and then I'll have a tomato sauce or like a pesto sauce, and then I'll top it with garlic, spinach, tomatoes, pine nuts, mushrooms. Did I say that already? Stuff like that, very veggie inspired, with lots of garlic and sometimes like a red pepper flake kind of thing. Anyway, what is your favorite travel memory? That's hard. I have a lot. I feel like every time I travel, I have great memories. Not that I've traveled in a while. I think one really cool moment I had was running into a friend, like totally randomly. We were in the middle of Quebec City in Canada, and neither of us are obviously from there. I had no idea he was there at the time, and we were both doing the same thing at the same time, and it just felt like this really weird sort of like divine power. I don't know, it was really weird. But it was super cool, and we got to hang out, and we got some drinks and walked through the city together, and it was just like such a fun, spontaneous, out of nowhere thing that happened. It was like the universe wanted it to happen. I don't know. Also going to Germany for the first time. We went for a film festival, and that entire trip was great. I cried when I landed. I was so happy to be there. I think it's probably because my dad always really clung to his sort of like German ancestry that I also do. I'm way more than just German, but that's always what I've felt close to, especially now that my dad is gone. So just like going there felt like a really special thing. And then also just going to Hawaii. I mean, it's beautiful, relaxing, lots of good stuff there. I don't know, I could go on forever. I'm gonna stop there. What is something that you like about New York? Definitely the access to concerts when they're happening. Lots of good shows, and lots of shows from artists that you don't know, but tickets are like $5-10, and you can have a fun night listening to new music. so many venues, honestly. The food's really good, especially where I am in Brooklyn. The food, delicious. And lots of good options too, especially for someone like me. I'm like on the more difficult side. I recognize that, so I'm happy about that. And just lots of opportunities and experiences to be had. Again, not right now. Right now I'm not doing anything. But generally, when we're not in a global pandemic, there's lots to do. Let's see. What are you currently binge watching? I just finished Down to Earth with Zac Efron, which is on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original. It was really good. It was super cute. It's about Zac Efron and his guru environmentalist friend, and they travel different parts of the world to sort of observe and acknowledge sustainable practices and just different environmental practices that certain countries do and follow. And they also touch a lot on sustainable food practices and different types of meals that are, important to the locals of the area. So it was really good. I think a lot of it is sort of beginner level sustainability stuff, at least to me, because that's sort of my line of work. But I think it's really great for awareness, and it's great to have someone prominent like Zac Efron, an actor that people love, that people want to listen to sort of engage them and get them involved in this kind of work, and even if not to get involved in the work, to acknowledge and understand it and want to be part of it in some way. So it was really good, and I recommend it. It's, like I said, it's called Down to Earth. It's on Netflix, and it's quick. It goes quick. I think there were only like 8 or so episodes, and yeah, I feel like I just flew through it. I've also been watching Hotel Impossible, which is on Amazon. It is so funny, that show. It's this guy named Anthony who has like all of this hotel experience, and he goes around the country and looks at different hotels that are not doing well and falling apart, and helps the owners get back on track. It's very fun. He's very dramatic for no reason. But you just can't not love him. He's so funny. He's from Brooklyn, I think, so that's probably why he's very dramatic. Very loud, I guess. What is your favorite snack? Probably popcorn. I know that's a boring answer, but I can never get enough of popcorn. Skinny Pop is really good from the bags, and then the microwave popcorn, they have some that's just like olive oil and sea salt. Oh my gosh, I could eat bags of that at a time. It's so good. Other than that, though, I'm kind of boring with snacks. I just had some really good spinach puffs. Sounds super boring, but they're good. It's like a cheese puff, but spinach. I know that doesn't make it sound any more inviting. Just fruits and veggies and stuff like that. Super boring. Do you have or want any pets? So, my family that I grew up with has a black lab and 2 black cats. So I've always grown up with pets, and I love having pets around. And in the past few years, I've had my own pets. Different cats, 2 different cats. And I am like totally a cat person. I love cats. My shirt has a cat on it right now, actually. But I had some sort of difficult experiences with my last few cats. Typically, I like to adopt cats that are a bit older. The first cat I adopted was 11. And typically because of that, they've been sitting in shelters for a while, and they haven't been adopted because maybe they have some kind of health concerns or issues, and those are the cats I fall in love with and take home with me. And obviously, unfortunately, those situations can be difficult, and it leads to a lot of pain. So I I love my experiences that I've had with my cats, but I think for now I need a break because there is a lot of sort of emotional draining that goes into caring for cats that are sort of sick and unwell and older, because I just feel like I have so much love to give and I just want to make everything okay. And obviously sometimes you can do the best that you can do. So I will definitely get cats again in the future. It's just I need to have a break from that sort of emotional turmoil. Not to say that that's always what will happen. It's just in my past experiences, there is just like a lot of illness and sadness and like right after the other. So, but in my head, I think it's just because I was sort of destined to be their forever home and to give them the love and the care that they deserve. So, anyways. What is your favorite TV show? Definitely Mr. Robot. That's always been one of my favorite shows. Legion, a show was on FX. I don't think they are filming that show anymore. I haven't watched it in a while. I honestly don't watch a ton of TV shows. I don't have cable, so I just rely on what's on like streaming services. But typically I like darker dramas. Typically. I do love The Golden Girls, though. I've been watching that since I was little. Are you a gamer? I would like to be, but I definitely would not classify myself as one. I really want a new gaming system, but they're so expensive, and it's just not at the top of the list with other financial things going on right now. So I only have a PS2, which is, I know, a little bit embarrassing. But where I used to live, my roommate had an Xbox, so I would play that quite a bit. So now I'm waiting because one of my other friends is waiting for the PS5, and he has a PS4, and he says he's gonna give me his PS4 for free when the PS5 comes out this Christmas around. So I will finally have a gaming system again. But no, I don't consider myself a gamer just because I don't really have the access to the games at this moment. But hopefully soon. What type of music do you like? It's a hard question. I listen to a lot of different music and it changes all the time. I sort of shift between genres. Right now I'm listening to a lot of like Black Bear, Oliver Tree, Bad Flower, Gerard Way, Poppy, music like that. But again, it totally changes. There are very few genres I don't like. I don't like country, typically. And I usually don't like songs that are like super duper poppy, because a lot of it feels sort of generic to me. I like the stuff that sounds like a little bit different. That's not always the case, but generally speaking. So lots of like alternative, indie, EDM, electronic dance, hip-hop, rap, stuff like that. How old are you? I'm 25. I'll be 26 in November. Okay, do you cook? Actually, I've been cooking a lot more since I've been home a lot more. In the past, I would have said like a hard no, absolutely no to that question. I mean, I cook because I have to cook, right? Like, I don't have the money to order out all the time. But that doesn't mean I like to cook. But lately I've been cooking a lot more. I made a really good wrap the other day. It was like this whole grain spinach wrap with hummus, and I baked some sweet potato with cinnamon and salt, sea salt, and then I sauteed some kale with garlic, and some other spices and things. And it was really good. It sounds really basic, but for me, like, when I tell you I'm like very new to this, I was pretty proud of myself. And I had some sort of like veggie meatball subs. And yeah, I've been trying to experiment a lot more, and I've been making a lot of like herbal teas and things because, like I said, I'm feeling not good. I have some with me right now, and so I've been experimenting a lot with like ginger root and elderberry and different kinds of syrups and fruits and loose teas and things like that. So yeah, I'm getting more involved. Sorry, I know my nails look terrible. I've just been having a time. Okay. When you order food, what do you order? Generally, I'll order like a vegetable sushi, like an avocado roll or a sweet potato roll. I love spring rolls. I could eat those for the rest of my life, every day. I love spring rolls. There's so much salt in them though. Like the sodium is probably not good, but lots of rices. Basically like Chinese, Thai, that kind of thing. But really anything I don't make at home. Like, as much as I love Italian food, I feel like all I eat is pasta. So I'm like, why would I order that? Okay, what do you hate about New York? We talked about what we like. What do we hate? I hate, especially right now, that it's 9 million degrees all the time. We're currently in a heat wave, so it's like you wake up and it's like 90 something degrees. It gets to like 100 something degrees. Also like the urban heat island effect, where just because there's so much pavement and concrete and there's not enough green space to absorb, it's just so hot here. And that sucks. So that's my current complaint. But generally I don't like when things are very crowded. I like to have my space. Like, it's sort of this weird thing I have. I think a lot of people are like this, but I don't like when I'm in a crowded place and people touch me. Obviously they're not touching me on purpose, but I just don't like to be touched by like strangers when I'm out. It just like it just stresses me out. What else? I don't like that it's so expensive to live here. The cost of living is insane, especially for generally what people make at their jobs. Things like that. Sometimes it just feels scary to be here. There's a lot of people. Yeah, that kind of thing. Where is your ideal place to live? If I was not thinking about family, friends, anything, I would love to live in Northern California or Portland, Oregon. I love that part of the country. I think I'd really thrive there, but because all of my close family and friends are here, I don't know that I could do it and be happy, you know? That's such a big element, is to have your circle. So I think more realistically, I'd probably end up in some place like Vermont, sort of like a close second to that sort of environment. But I don't know. I definitely don't plan to stay here forever, but as of now, I don't have any plans. I don't know what my future holds. Where have you traveled? I wrote some places down because I didn't think I would be able to do this off the top of my head. This is what I could think up. There could be more. So where have you traveled? Canada, Mexico, the Virgin and British Virgin Islands, Germany, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, Hawaii, the entire East Coast, from Maine to Florida and a little bit over to California, Nevada. I definitely want to explore more of Europe. And I love a road trip. One day I hope I can do a cross-country road trip. And even more intensely, it would be cool to one day rent and convert like a bus or a really big van and take that through the country to see the 50 states. I'm not gonna lie, there are some states I'm not really interested in seeing, but it would be nice to just check out the whole area, you know? And then definitely seeing more of Europe and other parts of the world. It's expensive though, so don't know when that will happen. And then the last question is, what is your most meaningful life experience? That question is so hard to answer because I feel like there's just so many experiences I could talk about. So I thought a lot about it, and yeah, I looked at these questions beforehand because some of them are hard to answer. And I sort of came to this understanding that they're experiences that make me feel like I'm sort of like one with the universe. And I know that might sound silly, but sometimes you just have those moments where like you just can't forget them and you continue to think about them throughout your life. And I've had a lot of those, and they're more of moments of like the way I felt. So I wrote down a few examples because it's kind of a weird thing to explain, but back in 2014, I've talked about this before. I went to my first music festival. It was Firefly Music Festival in Dover, Delaware, and there was this moment where I was just laying in the grass with one of my best friends, and we were just like, I think we were on a blanket, I don't know, doesn't matter, in the grass, and we were just like looking at the stars and listening to this artist from far away. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning because they do really late night sets, and it was just like this crazy feeling, like being far from home and with people that I love and listening to really good music and just feeling so connected to everything. And it was just like one of those moments you don't forget. Anytime I'm like watching the stars when I'm up in Vermont, and anytime I have like really special moments with friends and family, especially when I'm talking about sort of like family history and learning things about my family and my ancestors and things like that, I just feel really connected. So those are really special moments for me. And I think probably a few years ago, my answer would have been totally different. It would have been really reliant on accomplishments and achievements. I've done like such a full 180 in terms of what's important to me, and I'm really glad. I used to rely so much on like crossing things off lists and getting this award and that award and this achievement and having these internships and these grades, and that's what used to be so important to me, and that's what would have been meaningful at the time. But I realized it's totally not about that at all. So my answers are much more wholesome now, and I feel more connected to those things. So anyways, those are all the questions, at least I hope. If I missed yours, I'm sorry. You can comment it below and I'll answer it, but I think I got them all. And please let me know if you're still watching this very long video, what you would like to see next. I had some ideas a few weeks ago, but again, I've sort of been in a weird state and sort of like hit a reset button. So please let me know below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to get some videos out soon. I don't know when. I just have to sort of take it day by day and see how I'm feeling. But I will try to do as much as I can as soon as I can, because I miss making videos. But anyway, again, I hope you guys are doing well, and let me know what you're up to. I feel very disconnected because I've just been inside and trying to not have heat stroke. So yeah, fill me in. I feel like I'm disconnected, so I will be back soon at some point, and thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. It's hard to do this with this ring.